Hey, welcome to the Summit Host Hangout podcast where you'll learn how to plan, strategize, and launch your profitable online summit. No influencer status necessary. I'm your host, Krista from Summit in a Box, and today we're starting a new series about increasing profits once your summit is over. Today, in episode 48, we're breaking that down to chat about increasing your All Access Pass sales after the live event is through. So we're going to cover how long your All Access Pass should be available, emails you can send to get extra sales after the summit is over, posts for your Facebook group to use, a little tip on Facebook ads, and what to do once your All Access Pass is no longer available. So let's start by talking about how long your All Access Pass should even be available. And really, this is completely up to you. However, I do think there needs to be some type of deadline, but that deadline is your call. There are some people who take it down at midnight on the final day of the summit. I'm sure there are some people who never take it down. There's a huge range of what people do, but if you have bonuses from speakers and affiliates that you're including, you'll definitely need to take it down at some point because it's hard to imagine that they would be okay with you basically giving away one of their products for a very discounted price that they wouldn't see necessarily a big return on for a long period of time. As for what I do, I usually end my summits on a Friday, and I sell my All Access Pass through the following Wednesday, which all of my speakers and affiliates know about in advance, so that's no surprise to them that sales will keep coming in for a few days. This timeline works for me because it's not so long that I just feel like I'm hitting people over the head with something that they don't want over and over and over, but it is long enough for me to let people breathe a little bit after all of the presentations, add a little value, and then make one last sales push. So my summit ends on a Friday. The All Access Pass is available until the following Wednesday. So as for how to make those extra sales, let's dive into that and to start with what emails you can send. Now, keep in mind, these emails are only going to summit attendees who have not purchased. You don't want to keep pitching to people who already purchased the All Access Pass. It's not a good feeling. So you could even actually send one or two to your email list who was not signed up for your summit. If your All Access Pass is a great deal and provides a whole bunch of value, it definitely doesn't hurt to give your regular email list a chance to grab that, but just make sure you're excluding people who are signed up for the summit. This is not something I've tried before, but I'll definitely give it a try in my 2020 summit and let you know the results of that. So with these emails, just like anything else, we don't want it to be constant pitching. We want some value mixed in with giving them a great offer. This is the time after your summit to show your attendees that you really appreciate them. You're going to give them some value and steps to take moving forward, and you're going to present them with your solution to help one last time. So let's go over these emails. And I do want to let you know that templates, complete templates for every single one of these emails is available to you in the Summit Host Vault. I have swipe copy, examples of my exact emails, everything you need to make this really easy. So check out the Summit Host Vault if you're interested in that. It's at summitinabox.co/vault. But for these emails, the first one is an email you want to send on the last day of your summit after all of the presentations are over. So I usually wait an hour or two and then send this email out, and it's just kind of to wrap everything up. You're going to show your attendees you're grateful. That's what you're going to start with, thanking them, telling them how happy you are for the progress that they made. Thank them for being a part of making the event amazing. All of that good stuff. Let them know what you hope they got out of it and ask them for feedback. This is a really great time to link your feedback form to start getting ideas for next time, things you can change, things they liked and didn't like, some great testimonials. Make sure your feedback form is mentioned in there. I also like to announce winners for my grand prize. So if you did a grand prize, it's another great thing to do that just kind of is adding more value and not focusing on the pitch, which is kind of my goal for this email. I also like to share the biggest thing I want my attendees to take away. And this is something that I don't write in advance, because I really want to be able to absorb what's happening during the summit and then sit back on that last day and be like, what has everybody's big takeaway been? I take that and put it in the email and have, one or two paragraphs that's really meant to just inspire them to take action on that one big thing. And after all of that, the fun stuff, sharing prize winners, telling them what I really hope they got out of that, that's when, after all of that, is when I mention that there are a few days left to get the All Access Pass. And your positioning for this can be, they don't have time to just wing it or try to remember everything they learned or decipher the crazy notes they took. Having the All Access Pass gives them time to go back and watch presentations that weren't a priority at the time. but might be once everything else is running smoothly. Like there's some really great positioning you can use here to just mention your All Access Pass really briefly at the end of this email so people remember that it's there. So I send that the last day of my summit, and then 2 days later is when I send the next email. And this is pretty much pure value, and I'm helping them put what they learned into action. I am including my feedback form again to get some thoughts from them, ways I can improve next time. But my focus here is getting them to take action. So I start by reminding them of how important it is to actually take action on what they learned. I let them know, you could have gone to every presentation and learned so much, but if you don't do something with it, if you don't start doing something with it right now, it was literally a waste of your time. So I remind them of that and then give them really specific steps to break down those presentations they went to in a way that they can take action on it. So I help them break it all down into like small tasks and get it added to Asana and Trello. People love this email. I always have people replying saying, thank you so much. I was overwhelmed, didn't know how to put this all into action, but this helps. So definitely do something like that. Like I said, my exact template is in the vault, but if you have a way that you do this for yourself, write that out for them, because something that works for you will probably resonate better with your audience than something that works for me. And then at the very end of that email where we've provided a ton of value, I have a really brief mention and reminder of the All Access Pass and how it will make that continued progress easier because they can always reference back to those presentations. Then 2 days later is when the cart close would be, and I send 2 emails that day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. So the one that goes out in the morning is a little bit longer, not super long, but it's just basically saying this is your last day to buy. It is a pure pitch email, no value, but I remind them of the benefits of having the All Access Pass, kind of paint a picture of what it could do for them when they're trying to make progress in their business. So I guess that is some value right there. After that, I let them know what's included. So depending on how your All Access Pass is structured, that could be a pretty long list if you have some great speaker bonuses included, but list out everything that's in there and share your best 1 or 2 testimonials and then a really strong call to action under that. So that's that morning email. The afternoon email is just, hey, last chance, kind of the same idea as the morning email, but I tend to shorten it up a little bit. Just say you have a couple more hours. After that, it's gone. Here's the link to buy. So that is what my sequence looks like after my summits. And I do see a decent amount of sales come in. So I definitely recommend having that cart open period a little bit longer so that people have a chance to buy afterwards. Along with those emails, I also do a couple posts in my Facebook group for summit attendees. And you can choose to just totally repurpose your emails as posts for your group. That's definitely an option. I like to keep people warm for a couple days with some connection and wrap-up posts. So, let's connect on Instagram, or what was your biggest takeaway from the summit? Stuff like that to keep them talking. Again, give them a little time to process. And then on cart close day, I'll do those 2 posts about it going away. And I keep my posts really short and sweet. A lot of times people who purchased will actually chime in and comment on how great it was, which definitely helps. And on my last post, I really like to end with a question that's asking people who purchased what their favorite resource was. So the comments keep bumping up to the top of people's feeds. And when people read it, they're seeing all these, really incredible resources that other people are talking about and excited about and have experience with. So those are a couple of great posts to do in your Facebook group to get a couple other sales out of that as well. As for Facebook ads, it's definitely worth trying to run some last chance ads if you're familiar with how they work. And we talked about Facebook ads in episode 38 with Tony Rulli, so definitely check that out if you haven't yet. But your audience for these ads would be people who signed up for the summit who have not hit the purchase thank you page. So they registered, but they haven't purchased. You definitely want to keep an eye on the conversion rate here and the frequency. So you're making money instead of losing it, of course. So you want to make sure that you're converting, making sales for less than the amount of the sale. And then make sure that your frequency isn't getting much above like 3. You don't want people to be seeing your ad 10 times in a row. And since that audience that you're marketing these ads to is going to be smaller, you don't need a super high budget, and you do have to keep an eye on that frequency since you don't want people seeing it a ton of times. But after that, you're going to enjoy those extra sales and then take your All Access Pass down. First, though, I want you to celebrate. Like, that's incredible. Your summit went amazing. And there's, it's like a bittersweet moment to close your cart for your All Access Pass. And once your cart closes, you can do a couple things. You can call it good and be done. Let it be. Or you can repurpose your presentations and continue making sales on it, which is what I do. So let me kind of walk you through the steps I take. When my cart closes, the All Access Pass itself in its entirety is gone. That's not available anymore. I can't keep offering speakers products at a crazy reduced price, but I can continue offering the presentations because that's in my agreement with my speakers. So what I do is I bundle up the presentations into their own product and make them a tripwire on my website. So when someone opts into a freebie related to my summit's topic, I give them 20 minutes to get the bundle of presentations for $47. Once the timer runs out, they can get it for $97. I don't promote that anywhere else. The only time people see it is when they opt in for a specific freebie, but it works decently. Since I don't get a ton of traffic on my website, I don't do a lot of promoting blog posts or that opt in at all. But since my last summit, that one has brought in about $400. So nothing to brag about, but it definitely pays a few bills. And with the amount of traffic those posts get, I'm kind of excited actually after seeing that. I just checked before I hit record and I was surprised to see that I'd made any sales because that's how little I promote it. So I'm really excited at what that could look like for those of you who would put more effort into an ongoing funnel. So it's definitely worth doing. But as a recap, when your summit ends, it does not mean your sales have to end. Make the most of that last chance positioning when you're not distracted by trying to promote presentations and keep everyone happy during the summit to get some extra sales. So you're going to want to provide your audience with a ton of value and then make that one final push for sales. And like I said, after that, you can even reuse those presentations in a permanent funnel moving forward. As for some action steps here, map out your post-summit sales strategy. Take some time to think about it and map out what that will look like. Think about what the price point will be and when you'll officially close that cart and get to work on those emails. To make those emails even easier, be sure to check out the Summit Host Vault where I've got complete templates for you, and it does not end there. The Summit Host Vault is a value-packed resource library with the templates, tools, trainings, and resources you need to make all of your summit prep easy. And you can learn more and unlock the Summit Host Vault at summitinabox.co/vault. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. For show notes and resources mentioned, head to summithosthangout.com/048. In the next episode, we'll be chatting about booking out your services after your summit, so be sure to tune in for that. And don't worry, my product-based listeners and membership owners, we have got good stuff coming for you too after that. Now go out and take action to plan, strategize, and launch your profitable online summit.